I want to start by quoting my best friend's saying, and let's read it together. We don't need to live hoarding power or hoarding safety, a life that's lived out of love for the life of the world. In all of its complexity is a life of goodness, a truly human life. There's a joy in justice, there's goodness in generosity, and there's resurrection in service. End record. I believe there is resurrection in service. That's why I put this quote at the beginning. And I am the person who loves seeing people's lives change. And I'm also a person who loves being a part of that change. By learning by living a life of service, I've seen people's lives change in different way, in one way, another way. And I've seen a lot of people came from one stage to another stage, but just because people did a little things. It's all about the little things that we do. Many times when we think of service, some people think of service as something huge agenda or huge project that such as themselves cannot be capable or skilled to do it. But some people don't think service is like humiliating or something that it's not their responsibility or it's out of their realm of responsibility. But for me, service is like everyone's responsibility and it brings joy for everyone. For me, service is a constant source of joy. Let me go back here and let me tell you how I grew up. I came from middle-class family, but my parents knew the value of education, so they want me to go to a private school. So me and my sister, I have only one sister, so we went to a private school. So the private school that we went to was a little bit farther from our house, but my dad drops us 1 kilometer away from the school. He doesn't drop us all the way to the gate somehow. He just drops us a kilometer away and he goes on. And then me and my sister have to walk that 1 kilometer by ourselves. So there's an Orthodox church, and you know, around Orthodox church, most of the time you'll see a lot of beggars sitting by the gate and waiting to get money, to get food from different peoples. And I've seen people giving coins to them like every day. And I start asking my dad to give me coins. So I start collecting coins from my dad and my mom, and me and my sister start giving coins to those people. And I've seen people giving food and giving clothes and everything. Even then, I knew giving coins was not a solution because the people that I give, they were there every day. I see them year after year, month after month. They're like there, young, old, men, women, everybody, they were there. I've seen them today, and their life doesn't change. They grow old, but like I've passed that way like almost 12 years, but they were there. Like we became friends, we start saying hi to them, but their life doesn't change. So as a young girl, I was lacking ideas, but I used to dream building a huge building, like a condominium houses or something, and feed them. Like me and my sister, we used to tell our parents, we come home and we're like, we've seen this and that, so in the future we want to build a huge building to put all the people in that building and feed them every day. But it was just an idea that we had a long time ago, and as a young girl, it was just an idea. And then as a teenager, I started going to this church, and this church had a ministry called People in Need Ministry. So that ministry used to collect clothes and money from the church members, and they start distributing to the people like every month. And ultimately, it was better than giving coins, but still, the people were dependent on us. They were expecting the charity that we give them. They were expecting like the food that we give them every month. So we started going and visiting their house. There's no change. We did that I volunteered there like for a year, and their life didn't change. Every month we did it. So even if it was better, it was not a solution. It was just a solution for the time being. So having all these things in my mind, I knew I wanted to do something for the community. I knew I wanted to fight poverty. I knew I wanted to do something like to fight injustice. So I studied law. I went to Haramaya University. I went to Haramaya University like for my bachelor's degree, and I studied law. Actually, in Haramaya University, I did not only study law, it was a lot of life experiences. I started knowing sharing the happiness of sharing with community. The friends that I found there, they become my second family. We shared ideas. We talk about our lives. We discussed a lot of things. We shared materials, a lot of stuff. So it was there that I started enjoying the shared community. So I've learned from my experiences, and I've learned from the people around me. Right before I graduated, I joined 6 friends. They meet frequently to study Bible together, and they share ideas. So it was like 6 months before I graduated, I joined that group. So one day we were meeting, and our leader, he says, I heard about people living with HIV AIDS in Toto Mountain. And Toto Mountain is a few kilometers away from Addis up north. So he started telling us about their life. So we're like, okay, let's do something, and let's go visit them. Let's see what's happening there. So this is the first house that we visited. It was like a muddy house and very small house. Like the size of the house would be like maybe a double size of this stage. And there was about like 15 people sleeping in that room and next to each other. And then some are coughing because they have TB. And some are not able even to talk to us. Like they were like very sick because of the infection disease that they have. So we're like, okay, what shall we do? So this is the other house that we visited on that time. So the people were living in deplorable conditions. Environmentally, they were not in a good place. Many were suffering with HIV and AIDS, biological and TB as well. They were excluded from the society and not be able to provide for themselves, social and cultural. Unique persons were dying and or being left for dead. Basic spiritual needs like acceptance, forgiveness, respect, and hope were all in danger. So we asked these people why they're. They said, my families, they didn't want me because I have HIV virus. Some say, like, I'm dying in 3 months, so there's no reason to live with my family. So they were ostracized from the community. So they came to the mountain because most of the people, they live there with HIV/AIDS. So they feel a little bit better because all of them are in the same status. So we saw this and we're like, okay, what shall we do? So we started again collecting from the church and from our friends money, clothes, and we start giving them food. And we start going there once in 2 weeks. And yeah, the same thing that I've did when I was a teenager, and we start doing this again and again. So we're like, this is not sustainable. This is not going to change their life. They're going to be they're going to be in the same condition for the coming years till they die. And in one of our meetings, we said, let's start making jewelry. It's very simple, and they won't be that tired. We can't give them job because they will be discriminated from different places because they are already physically weak. So we're like, okay, let's make jewelry. So we start collecting beads, like different kind of beads from Mercato, and we start making glitter jewelry. And then those jewelries that we start making was not compatible from the market. We couldn't compete the market because it was bad quality. And so one of my friends, she said, okay, let's start making with beads so that we can be unique and we can have markets. So we collected different kind of beads, and one of the beads that we collected was coffee bean. The coffee bean became like one of the famous beads that we use for our jewelry. So it become like good thing. So we start like when all this happened, we didn't have office. Like we used to meet in our leader's office. We just go up on the mountain, sit with the people, and try to teach them some designs, or we'll put some beads and they will duplicate it. So at this time, during this time, I graduated from college. So Sami, our leader, he was like, why don't you work here as a volunteer full-time? So I was like, this is an opportunity for me, but at the same time, my parents and everybody, my friends, everybody expect me to be in the courts working as a lawyer. So there's an opportunity, but I had to make a decision. So it was a hard decision for me because I wanted to earn money and I wanted to work because there's a lot of things coming. I don't know anything. I've never had any work experiences. I've never worked part-time. So I said yes, and I was like, this is an opportunity. The people here need help, so let me do it. And I used the opportunity that I found at that time. As we start working, we start like seeing change in the lives of the people little by little. It was not huge, but it was not just that kept me to be there. It was an encouragement that I found through my co-workers. So my co-workers, they used to tell me that I was doing the right thing. So I used to take that word. So always when I talk to my leader or my mentor, Sami, he believed in me. I didn't even know at that time, let alone organizing a project. I don't know anything. I'm only 23, and I was in school my whole life. I didn't have any experience. So since he believed in me, since he had a faith in me, and my friends, everybody encouraged me, I stayed there. So that was one of the main things. But through all this, this didn't come without challenge. There was challenge. I go home and I talk to my parents. My parents were worried that this thing would fail. They were worried that I wouldn't find any other job because I don't have any law experiences. And there was challenge when I see my friends, when they were hired in legal entities, when they are a judge and lawyer, I was like, am I doing the right thing? Because this was nothing. We didn't have table chairs. We just go to the mountain, comes back, and it was empty. So I was like, this is crazy. I don't know. Am I making the right decision? So there was challenge that I have to face every time. And there was challenge from the community, even the people that we work for. And there were challenges to things. It was not easy at all. Like, it was just like the process, the bureaucracy, and everything was a challenge. So we had to face that challenge every day. Like, we meet and we talk about it. So having the right people around me was the right thing, I think, because whenever I tell them like something, we talk about it. Like, whenever we have party, this is the Ntoto project is the thing that we discuss. So those are the things that helped me to pass the challenge that I had at that time. And at the same time, there were moments that I wanted to quit. So I was like, I think I've done enough. After a year, I was like, okay, I've done enough. This is more than I can handle it. So I have to stop. So, and then when I see the people, when I see the change, when I see their eyes, when I see the smile in the people's, I was like, I can't do it. So there's a decision that I have to make every day. There was determination. So those are the people's life. And as I told you before, the house that I showed you, 15 people were sleeping. One of the ladies, she was like sleeping by the door. And when we talked to her, she was not able to talk to us. She was not even able to tell us her name. So we had to like push her. We're like, what's your name? And she was like quiet the whole time. So after like 2 years, now you don't believe that it was she. Like, she moved from the Ntoto mountain. She had her own, she rented her own house. And she comes to our compound like with a smile on her face. And she works like, we have like different kind of group in our compound. So the best ones are like, they come like full time, like about 50 of them. So she's one of the 50 of them. Like, even me, I thought she was gonna die. So I was like, okay, I don't think we have a hope with her. But now when I see her, she's always like my satisfaction. She's the reason that I'm there, I work this. So we started making jewelry with the ladies because, as I told you, it was easy things to do. So we picked 20 ladies from the first house, and the next house from that we picked 20 ladies, and we started making jewelry. So those hands that used to beg by the church, they used to like ask for money, but now they make beautiful, beautiful jewelries. So these are some of the pictures from when they make it. So this is the lady that I told you about. So this all passed. We started making this jewelry, and it was a little market. But after all this, we were able to export our jewelries internationally. We started with only 20 women. We have about 120 women who works in jewelry program, and their kids go to school now. Now, when you talk to them, they have a hope. They don't tell you that I'm gonna die. They'll tell you like, I'm gonna see my kids going to university. They talk about hope. They talk about future. They talk about different things. But all this come with the little things that we did at the beginning. It was the very little seed that we started this with, and then now it's just growing and flourishing. And they are like, even from the mountain, the people that come to our compound, they see them as a hope. They're like, when are we gonna come to the compound? So we're hoping to expand and to add more people. But like, when you see the people, when you see their smiles, you'll be surprised. there is like hope every day. Every day you'll see different things. And they talk about their kids, and their kids go to school, and medically they're well, and we provide them medical, anything that they need. So saving. So these people used to beg by the church, used to ask coins, and they're waiting for people to give them money so that they can eat food. But now they're able to pay their house rent, plus they save. Some of them, when I just look at their bank books, I don't even have that much money. I'm not that disciplined to save that money. So all of them, if they work for us, they are responsible. They have a responsibility to save. So they have bank books. These are the kids. They come to our compound, and they have kids club program, so they enjoy being in our compound. It's the little things that we do. Servicemen is not just giving money. It's about time. It's about labor. It's about ideas. Like giving ideas is a big deal. So it's everyone. Everybody can do it, and it's easy for everyone, and a source of joy. It's not something that we just do it just because we have to do it. It's for our satisfaction. It's for our joy. So with the little things that we do, we can change people's life. Thank you.